friends, it's Julie. Welcome back to Row & Co Farms, where we share the story of how we live, grow, eat, and work on our homestead. If you're new to our channel, we'd love to have you subscribe and like down below. So today, we're going to be talking about what we ate this week. As you guys know, we've been participating in the Three Rivers Pantry Challenge for the month of January and February. And that means that we are challenging ourselves to not go to the grocery store and to use the things that we have in our pantry, fridge, and freezer and try to get really creative with the meals that we make for those months. So it's a no spend challenge to basically not spend any money in the grocery store for those months. So far, I have not spent any money at the store. I did place an order for some meat from a local farm, but I needed to do that. That was part of an order that I normally place anyway to keep things in my freezer. So I went ahead and did place my normal order for that. And then I did go to a local farm where I buy raw milk, and I did buy 2 gallons of raw milk. So those are the only purchases I've made, but it's still fair to say that I did not go to the grocery store. I did buy those things from a separate source. So with that being said, again, we had a great week with the Pantry Challenge, but I also have to preface it and say that I was out of town for about 4 days of the challenge, and so I did prep some food ahead of time that I took with me, and then I also did go out to eat several days. So I want to go ahead and say that there will be several days missing of actual cooking and pantry food, but the things that I did take with me did come from my pantry, and the things that I did prepare for my trip did come from my pantry. So stay tuned and I'll show you my week's worth of meals. I also wanted to say, if you guys want to follow along with other people who are participating with the Three Rivers Challenge, use that hashtag 3 Rivers Challenge, and it will link you up with all the other people who have been making videos in this series. And there are so many, and they're really good. The Three Rivers Homestead is the one who started this challenge, and it's just a great way to use up things that you have, to use the harvest that you had from the year before, and just to save a little bit of money. So I'm going to link their channel down below. Jessica is the one that started the challenge, and she is a great person to follow. She just does some really simple, basic cooking and just shows you how to feed your family well with the basics. So follow her, follow some of those other channels and see what they've got out there. And let's get into what we had to eat this week. So today is Sunday afternoon. It's been storming all day. It's starting to snow, and so we're going to have some chili. I'm going to be using this ground emu meat along with some pinto beans, some kidney beans, assorted spices, some Cowboy Candy, which is some jalapenos that we make. They're like a sweet and spicy. Then I have some diced tomatoes, a little bit of tomato paste that I had in the fridge, some tomato sauce that we canned, some organic carrots. I think those will just kind of disintegrate a little bit because they're pretty mushy. A bag of frozen corn. We have some bone broth back there. Ignore that it says coffee and salsa because that is a lie. Then I also have a couple of sweet potatoes that I want to get really soft, and I'm just going to kind of mix that in. I don't think you'll even notice the taste of those. And then I have a couple of onions and garlic, and then some frozen green peppers. So we're going to turn that into a yummy chili, and I will show you the results when it's finished. As you can see, it turned out really yummy, and I just topped it off with a little bit of fermented Curtido, sour cream, and some Cowboy Candy. So tonight's pantry dinner is going to be some pasta made with ground turkey and ground Italian duck sausage. We've got some fresh ingredients, which is the broccoli, an onion, some garlic, and I have some leftover peas that we made the other night. We'll toss in with it too. And then we have some frozen basil pesto that I made last year from some fresh ingredients. So we have that we're going to use up. I have 3 pieces of garlic bread from the freezer that my family can eat. And then I have some gluten-free spaghetti noodles. So we're going to turn that into tonight's pasta pantry meal. So I browned my meat with some onions and garlic, And now I'm just going to be mixing in this pesto. It's still a little frozen, so it'll take a few minutes to kind of, you know, melt and thaw into there, but that'll be fine because I still have to cook my noodles. Those aren't going to be started just yet. So I've mixed in my pesto. It's nice and melted in. I've added just a little heavy cream just to spread that out a little bit, and then I tossed in the peas. And now I'm just waiting on the noodles to get done there. And the broccoli is almost finished steaming in the microwave. So I've added in my broccoli. Now I've got a nice pesto broccoli pea pasta. So I did not get a final shot of this dish, but we served this over our spaghetti noodles, and it was really delicious with that creamy pesto sauce. So for tonight's pantry dinner, we're having leftovers from the fridge, which was chili that we made the other night. So having chili with some fixings on it, and that's gonna be dinner for tonight. I actually have like 1 serving of the chicken tortilla soup that I made the other day, and I'm just gonna add that in with the chili because they're so similar. This one has just a little bit of rice in it, so it'll just give us a little extra something in the soup, and it won't let this go to waste. This is fermented Curtido sauerkraut. I like to add some of that to mine. I try to eat some fermented food every day. And some Cowboy Candy. These are candied pickled jalapenos. So good. All right, time to eat. All right, guys, so here's my big bowl of chili, and I'm just gonna eat it with some tortilla chips, and I bet it's really good. It's my chili / tortilla soup. Yum. And this weekend, I'm going to be going out of town to the Homesteaders of America Business Weekend Conference, and so I'm really excited about that. But because I'm traveling, I'm going to be going ahead and cooking some road trip food. I have a lot of allergies, and so because of my allergies, I have to be prepared to have a few things ready to eat, just in case I get somewhere and I don't have anything to eat. And that's a possibility sometimes, and I don't like to put myself in a position to be hungry or to potentially put myself at risk with my allergies. So I'm gonna be prepping some food before I go, and I figured you guys could come along and see what I was doing. I've been working on a pantry challenge too these last few weeks, and so I thought that I could kind of add some of this in as part of that pantry challenge. Since I'm going to be out of town those few days, there won't be a lot of footage for pantry stuff because I won't be at home. So I'm just going to show you guys how I prepare for a road trip. So some of the things that I like to take with me when I go somewhere is I like to prepare some of my meats because that's the most of the things that I'm allergic to are meats. So I'm going to be taking with me some duck bacon. So I'm going to just cook this whole package of duck bacon that I have. And duck bacon, if you guys don't know, is the most closest thing to pork bacon. I cannot consume pork, so this is what we have. It's like a real piece of meat with actual fat on it, like pork, so it's very, very good. So I'm gonna cook that off, so I'll have some bacon for breakfast or just to snack on. Then I also have these chicken breakfast sausages, and they don't have casings on them, so I can have these. But yeah, these are really good. So I'm gonna cook them off, and I'll have another little breakfast thing. And then last, I'm gonna cook these 2 chicken breasts and just have some, just some grilled chicken to have on hand for a salad or to pair with something else. So, and then I'll probably throw in a couple of extra little things, but I'm not sure what that's gonna be yet, but I'm gonna start by thawing these out, and then I'm gonna cook the meats and have those ready to go. So I got all my meats cooking. I'm gonna get these chicken sausages put on the griddle, and I'm gonna get this duck bacon cooked off as well. It smells so good in my kitchen right now. You just can't believe it. These sausages and bacon are gonna make the perfect breakfast and snack addition for me in the mornings. I can't wait to eat these on my trip. So I added a lot of spices and salt and pepper to my chicken breasts, and then I cooked them in that bacon grease that was left on my griddle. Well, guys, I made a huge mistake. I left this plate too close to the edge of my kitchen counter, and my dog came and basically ate all the chicken and almost all of the bacon and the sausage, and this is what was left behind. So I'm gonna have to start over, and I went and got another pack of frozen chicken out, and I had one more pack of duck bacon. I didn't have any more of the sausage, so I won't be replacing that. I'm gonna throw the rest of this away, or probably just feed it to the dog at some point, because yeah, I don't know how much of this she licked or tried to get, and I'm just not gonna eat that. So let this be a lesson to you all. Dogs, we love them, but they can certainly do some stupid things. All right, so let's take a look at some of the stuff that I'm gonna pack for this trip. Top of the list, some tortilla chips and some salsa. It's like a go-to snack for me. One of my favorites. I've got a handful of cheese sticks. I've got a few apples with some peanut butter, some I say it's no stir. I'm gonna have to stir it, but it doesn't say no stir on there. So peanut butter, apples. I've got some gluten-free crackers that I like. Then for breakfast, if I want, I have this gluten-free granola and some oat milk. I've got a couple of avocados and these little sea salt caramel chocolates. And then I'll probably just throw in some of my sparkling water, cans of sparkling water that I like to drink. And this will give me at least a basis for some snacks and food for the times when I may not be able to eat everything that is being presented to me. So I also decided to go ahead and cook up a little batch of rice so I'd have an extra carbohydrate just in case I needed it. So we've gotten just stepped on my cat's tail. All right, so we've gotten everything together for the trip, and I'm gonna go ahead and pack my stuff into my bags. I remade my bacon and chicken from where my dog ate it off the counter this morning. She was a bad girl. Yeah, so we got everything together. I'm gonna be taking some coffee beans and some sugar so that way I can make my coffee when I get there. But yeah, everything is prepped and ready. I'm gonna go ahead and pack it all into the bag. I don't think I've changed much from what we talked about. Oh, I did. I got one bag of these gluten-free honey mustard pretzel sticks. You know, when you go on a road trip, you gotta have a little snacky food to eat in the car. And so that is my little indulgent snack. I did add a couple of dried mango pieces because I like those. And some bananas. So while I was at the conference, let me talk really quick about some of the foods that I did eat while I was there. They provided several meals for us. So my lunches consisted of chicken salad with a side green salad, and then they also had chips as an option if you wanted to have chips. And so I did grab a bag if there was some that were safe for me to eat, and then they just had water as well with that. And throughout the day for snacks, I brought my crackers along, so I had crackers with cheese. I had my apples with peanut butter. I also brought along those mango slices. I had the cheese sticks, And I also had a small bag of turkey pepperoni, so I had those as well for snack. And then for dinners, we went out to eat on the nights for dinner, and so I ate one night a turkey burger patty with some sauerkraut. There was a side of black beans and some hand-cut fries and some slaw, and so that was a really delicious meal. I do have a picture of that one, and I'll pop that in here. I'm sorry I didn't get footage of all of the meals that we ate. We were just having a good time and decided to enjoy each other's company. So and then another night we went to a steakhouse. I did not have a steak. I did have a piece of grilled marinated chicken breast with a side of Brussels sprouts, and I had an appetizer of potato skins with cheese and a little bit of sour cream on them, and those were really delicious. And then we had Mexican food one night where I had just a bed of rice with cheese and grilled onions and grilled shrimp. And I ate that with some corn tortilla chips, and that was really delicious too. So overall, my road trip food situation turned out really well, and I didn't have any allergic reactions, and I'm glad I prepped some food and some snacks to take with me, and that I was able to eat some of the food that they had provided as well. So overall, it was a great experience there. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed all of the things that I shared this week that we ate. I am going to also be sharing in the near future some footage from the trip that I went on. So I was at the Homesteaders of America business weekend. We learned some really great information from some great people like Joel Salatin, Jill Winger, Justin Rhodes, Sean and Beth Doherty, and just all of the homesteaders that were there, that are there to learn how to do businesses from their homestead. So it was a great weekend. I'm going to be doing some collaborations with some other YouTube channels in the future, and I just really enjoyed that weekend. I'm going to share some of that footage with you guys here in the coming weeks. So do stay tuned for that, and also stay tuned. Next week will be week 4 Pantry Challenge meals. I am back at home, back in the kitchen, and I'm going to be bringing you a whole nother week's worth of food from our pantry. And it's going to start getting a lot more interesting because we're starting to narrow down, and really are going to have to work from some of those bulk ingredients to make some of our snacks next week because we're running low. So I hope you guys stick around, and I can't wait to see you next time here at Row & Co Farms.